I'm Michael Sidebottom, and this is Poster Boy Hero. I was lost to regret, self-pity and shame, resentments and anger and unending blame. I was stuck in a loop of defects and addiction, blaming my problems on the human condition. I refused to believe I deserved my fate. It was the fault of others, and that led to hate. I was bottled fury, I kept it all in. It was only a matter of time before I imploded within. Then he showed up one day riding his bike in the rain to give me a lesson in humility and pain. I wasn't going to like what he had to say. He told me to shut up and listen. I wasn't going to hear it anyway. He said it quite bluntly in the simplest way. My motives were selfish. I wasn't getting my way. I was a whiny crybaby blaming others for my fate. I needed to forgive myself and let go of the hate. From that day on, I've taken responsibility. I've accepted myself and found serenity. He's the poster boy for DTAP, an inspiration for me. He's my poster boy hero, and he truly saved me. Now, first couple months of recovery were kind of hard for me because I had it in my mind that I got this. I knew what my problem was, I knew what the solution was, and I knew what I needed to do to get what I wanted. I was convinced that I did not need anyone else's help, guidance, or support. I was convinced I could do this on my own. I got this. Well, like most things having to do with my addiction, I was wrong, because my stubborn arrogance was keeping me from seeing the truth. And the truth of the matter was that I was stuck. I was stuck in a bog of anger and resentment, fear and self-pity. I was stuck in the idea that I had done nothing wrong, but that I had been wronged by others instead. I was stuck in the belief that I didn't even have a problem because my addiction was not the source of all my misery. Well, like I said, first couple months were hard because I spent that time just spinning my wheels and I was getting nowhere. And I couldn't figure out why, because if I had all the solutions, then why wasn't this working for me? And it got so bad at one point that they were even considering revoking the terms of my probation and just sending me to prison because my attitude of denial and resistance was causing a lot of problems in the treatment facility I was at. Well, thankfully, this road of recovery we walk is not a solitary road. There are others who walk this path with us. People who have been there before and understand what we're going through. People who are capable and willing to help us, even if we don't want that help ourselves. Even if we don't believe we need that help. Because that's exactly what happened to me. At a time when things couldn't get any worse, I had a friend show up at the facility I was at. And he goes, you're not going to like what I have to say, but you're going to sit down, shut up, and listen anyway. He goes, the other day when you told me what your situation was and what you were going through and all your problems, you know what I heard coming out of your mouth? Wah, wah, wah. Poor little me. Why am I so misunderstood? Wah, wah, wah. He goes, the truth of the matter, dude, is that you're a whiny little fucking crybaby and you need to grow up. And you need to stop blaming everyone else for your problems. And guess what? Your life is your responsibility and no one else's. And he said that another reason you're so pissed off because you just simply aren't getting what you want. Well, has it ever occurred to you that what you want is not what you need? And he said a few other things and he left. And the whole conversation lasted about 10, maybe 15 minutes. And he was right. I didn't want to hear what he had to say. But it needed to be said, because up to that point, all I had been hearing from people is what I wanted to hear. All I had been hearing is, oh, poor little you. Poor Mikey. I mean, we feel so bad for you. Is there anything we could do to help you? Poor, poor you. But that wasn't doing me any good. I needed to hear the truth. And it took the courage of a friend to stand up to me and tell me to my face what I needed to hear. Because what he said was the truth. Because the truth of the matter was that I was a whiny crybaby and I needed to grow up. But that's exactly what happened that day. Because up to then, I had had 2.5 months of sobriety. I had been clean for all that time. But that was the first day of my recovery. That was the day I found acceptance. Because I finally accepted responsibility for my life and stopped blaming others. I finally accepted that I was an addict and that I needed help. And I finally accepted that what I wanted in life was not the best thing for me, that I needed something more. And when I found acceptance, I found serenity. And my life changed forever. And when I woke up the next morning, I was a completely different person. Everybody in my life knew it. They saw the difference in me. They saw the change. They saw the peace. Because when I found acceptance, serenity into my life. And this was a good thing. And just a few days later, I started writing my book. And I wrote the first poem about coming out of the darkness and into the light. Because that's what it felt like. I felt like I had been saved. And I was saved by a friend. So I'll keep this anonymous, but friend, you know who you are. And all I can say is thank you. Thank you for having the courage to put down that cape and swooping down and saving me, because I was drowning and I didn't even know it. Thank you for saving my life. You will always be my poster boy hero. Check out my amazing story of recovery from addiction at michaelsidebottom.takeauthor.com or Facebook On the Road. It's an amazing story filled with courage and hope. Trust me, it's a great story. Read it.